A lion eats 40 pounds of raw meat in a single sitting, then sleeps for 20 hours straight. No gym, no diet, no willpower. And it never, not once in its entire life, becomes obese. Meanwhile, humans spend $260 billion every year on weight loss programs, gym memberships, and supplements. And we're getting fatter every single decade. So scientists asked a terrifying question. What if everything we believe about fitness is completely backwards? The answer has been hiding inside animals for millions of years. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Here's what most people imagine. Wild animals sprinting all day. Wolves chasing prey through forests. Cheetahs exploding across open plains. It looks like nature is one giant cardio session. But scientists who actually live with these animals discovered something that completely shatters that image. Asterisk lions sleep up to 20 hours a day. Asterisk tigers rest for 16 to 18 hours. Leopards barely move through most of the afternoon. Even wolves, famously relentless hunters, spend enormous stretches doing absolutely nothing. So why aren't they all overweight? Here's the key thing almost nobody tells you. In nature, energy is survival. Every step costs something. Every unnecessary movement is a calorie borrowed from tomorrow's hunt. Wild animals didn't develop lazy habits. They developed the smartest relationship with energy that evolution could produce. They don't exercise. They move only when movement has a real purpose. Hunting, fleeing, protecting, mating. There are no morning jogs in the Serengeti. There never have been. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Wild animals don't eat 3 meals a day. A lion can fail 5 hunts in a row, sometimes going 3 or 4 days without eating. A wolf pack might starve for a week between successful kills. Certain snakes eat only once every few weeks. Crocodiles have survived for over a year on a single large meal. Imagine truly not knowing when your next meal is coming. Not as a diet, not as a choice. As reality, your body would be forced to become incredibly efficient. It would learn to use fat stores perfectly. It would learn to conserve energy during rest and explode with power when needed. That is exactly what evolution engineered. Animals eat when food is available. Then their bodies automatically shift into a state of efficient survival until the next meal arrives. Now here's where humans broke the system. We evolved for scarcity. Our brains were designed for a world where food was never guaranteed. But we now live in the opposite world. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, coffee drinks, vending machines, midnight delivery apps, food available every hour of every day, engineered to be more rewarding than anything nature ever produced. Our ancient brain in a modern food environment. That mismatch, right there, is the root of everything. But here's the part that most people completely miss. And honestly, it might be the most important thing in this entire video. Animals don't separate movement from living. For them, movement is living. A deer walks because it must. A bird flies because it must. A monkey climbs because its food, safety, and survival depend on it. Every muscle has a job. Every step means something. Humans, on the other hand, have built a world designed to eliminate movement. Cars, elevators, delivery services, desk jobs, remote controls. We sit for 10, sometimes 12 hours. Then we drive to a gym, spend 60 minutes on a treadmill going nowhere. Then drive home and sit again. And we wonder why it doesn't work. Here's what research on hunter-gatherer societies reveals, and this will surprise you. Asterisk, they barely exercise at all. No structured workouts, no fitness routines, yet obesity among traditional hunter-gatherer groups was almost non-existent. Because movement wasn't a scheduled activity. It was woven into every hour of every day. Walking to find food, carrying water, squatting, climbing, lifting. Small movements repeated naturally, thousands of times, from sunrise to sunset. The body was never meant to sit still for 10 hours, then sprint for 1. It was meant to move slowly, constantly, all day long. Now ask yourself honestly, why did you eat last time? Was it hunger or was it something else? Boredom, stress, celebration, a movie, a bad day, a good day, habit, loneliness. Wild animals have none of this. A leopard doesn't finish a kill and reach for dessert. A wolf doesn't snack between hunts because it's anxious. When they're full, they stop, even when food is sitting right in front of them. Their brains remain connected to one clear signal. Am I actually hungry? Humans, though, crossed a line that no other species ever has. We invented food that hijacks the brain's reward system. Ultra-processed snacks, engineered combinations of sugar, fat, and salt, are specifically designed to override the "I'm full" signal. That's not a weakness of character. That's neuroscience. It is physically harder to stop eating a handful of chips than it is to stop eating an apple. The apple is natural. The chip is engineered. Nature never prepared us for this. People assume wild animals must be terrified all the time, living in constant danger, constant stress. But here's what actually happens. A gazelle gets chased by a cheetah. Its heart explodes. Adrenaline floods its body. Every muscle fires at maximum. And then the danger passes. Within minutes of escaping, that same gazelle is calmly grazing, heart rate back to normal, body at rest. The stress was real, and then it was over. Humans are completely different. Our stressors rarely end. An email that arrives at 9 p.m. is still sitting in your head at midnight. A difficult conversation at work follows you home, into dinner, into bed. A financial worry doesn't disappear after an hour. Chronic low-level stress, the kind unique to modern human life, quietly drives up cortisol levels, disrupts sleep, triggers cravings for high-calorie foods, and breaks down the body's ability to regulate weight. The gazelle's stress lasted 30 seconds. Ours can last 30 years, so let's bring it all together. Why don't wild animals need diets, gyms, or willpower? Because they never built the environment that makes those things necessary. They don't sit still for 12 hours. They don't eat past fullness for entertainment. They don't have food engineered to hijack their brains. They don't carry weeks of unresolved stress in their bodies. Their environment automatically produces the outcomes we spend billions trying to engineer artificially. And that is the real lesson nature has been quietly teaching for 4 billion years. The goal isn't to live like a lion. It's to understand what environment your body was actually built for. And then ask yourself how far you've drifted from it. Because your body isn't broken. It's just running ancient software in a world it was never designed for. Here's the question scientists and researchers still debate. If modern humans redesigned their daily environment, natural food, constant movement throughout the day, no ultra-processed products, actual stress recovery, would obesity become rare again? Or have we changed too permanently to go back? I know what you think. Is the obesity crisis mostly a product of our environment? Or is it personal choices that matter most? Drop your honest answer in the comments, because this debate is genuinely not settled. And if nature has taught us anything across 4 billion years of survival, it's that the most powerful changes never come from more willpower. They come from changing the environment around you. If this video made you think differently, subscribe. Every week we find the surprising truths that nature has been hiding in plain sight